$3,000? For dollars? American dollars.
Talking to me, because I can have you smited. I know people.
Guy wants to charge me $3,000 for us to sit behind a concrete pylon outside Marvel Stadium.
It's ironic, because I don't even want to be in Marvel Stadium tonight.
Oh, come on, it'll be fun. Besides, it's the last game ever before they tear that stadium down. You know, Dad used to take us all the time.
He used to take you all the time. I went once, I got hit in the ear with a foul ball.
Oh, God, why won't you let me do this for you, Eli?
Because it's not my birthday. My aneurysm came back.
You still haven't leveled with me, and I know it. I was the one with the symptoms, the visions, the fainting, and then my MRI comes back clean.
If it makes you feel any better, I haven't had a single vision since the aneurysm came back. Nate?
Hit me with a hard note and watch me bounce. Hit me with a hard note and watch me bounce. Hit me with a hard note and watch me bounce. Hit me with a hard note and watch me bounce. When trumpets hit up, give me a run to beat up. Hit me with a hard note and watch me bounce. Start those trombones sliding while I gather steam. Keep that tempo riding, riding. Keep it riding. Hit me with the hard note and watch me bounce. Knock me out with music in great amounts. Oh, let that beat wait. We're gonna have a heat wave. Hit me with a hard note and watch me bounce.
This wasn't a regular vision, Frank. This was like someone spiked the vision punch.
George Michael again?
Duke Ellington.
Eli, you were engaged to a real-life, non-hallucinogenic woman. It's like when you come out of a movie in the middle of the day and everything seems that much brighter because you've been sitting in the dark all that time.
You're right. I'm rusty. What do I do?
Same thing you used to do. Wait, follow the signs.
I'm going to see if there are any cases that might be related.
Is there a legal directory for that sort of thing?
No, but there's Maggie. Where is she?
Running around complaining about the assignment you gave her. Are we summon Duke Ellington, Eli?
Probably not. He's dead. Are you done with that memo yet?
No.
Do you know when you will be?
I'm sorry, Eli, but you cannot tell the people you work with that your life-threatening medical condition is back on an inter-office memo.
You're right. An email would be faster.
Well, if you want people to know, you need to talk to them.
I'm tired of talking about it.
Sorry, talk about what?
Ah, what do you got?
A woman right here in San Francisco is claiming that she was bitten by a pit bull named, wait for it, Duke.
Maggie, my coworkers already think I'm marble deprived. I don't think that representing a dog on my first case back is going to change that perception.
Eli, someone's here to see you, an actual client.
Really? What's she look like? She got brown eyes?
Mr. Stone?
This might sound a little crazy, but you don't by any chance have a daughter in her late 20s.
Maggie Decker.
Thomas Hayes.
Much younger half-sister?
Eli.
No. I have a son. Had a son. He died in Iraq. It happened in Karma 3 days ago.
I'm very sorry.
I came here because I heard you're willing to take on popular cases.
What type of case, Mr. Hayes?
I need you to stop the Army from burying my boy.
So your son was in the Army, but you don't want him to receive a military burial?
Daniel wouldn't have wanted it. The burial, the honor guard, any of it.
The Department of Defense doesn't send an honor guard detail unless one is specifically requested by the family.
Why wouldn't the Army honor your wishes?
The Army's not the problem. My wife is. She's listed as his next of kin, and she wants all the pomp and circumstance of a military funeral.
How can you be so certain about something your wife doesn't seem to know?
Well, they had a different relationship, but that's the problem. She doesn't believe me when I tell her.
What do you mean?
She wants to believe Daniel died in the service of something great. But that's not how he wanted to be remembered.
To be blunt, you being ex-military and your son getting killed in battle, I would...
Daniel wasn't killed in action. His heart just gave out on him. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, they call it. It's rare, it's hereditary, and it can go undetected and cause sudden death. But from what I've heard, Mr. Stone, you have some personal experience with that sort of thing.
So glad we came. It's totally worth $2,000 a ticket to be surrounded by a bunch of drunks and sausage breath. You can't get that at home, even in HD.
It's the last game in Marvel Stadium. Where's your sense of history?
I left it at the gate with that guy with the wand who frisked my privates.
Oh, what the... Lady, what's wrong with you?
I'm so sorry.
Let's sit down somewhere. Look what you're doing.
That's her.
That's who? Oh my gosh.
That's the woman from my vision.
It's really nice.
Well, thank
She was singing to me. She was dancing.
Here, you got a little back.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same woman.
No, here. let me just take this.
Shut up! Wow, all that's missing are the pitchforks and the torches.
Yo, Balderrama, you can't hit the marble
What are you doing, dumbass? This is the last game in Marble Stadium. You cannot do this.
Marble stop!
No.
Marble stop! Marble stop!
Sit down. Yes, this is not your real man. Sir, please.
You know, you really don't have to do this. It's
Of course I do. You saved me. This is mustard. This should come right out. What's this? Cough syrup? Who threw cough syrup on you?
I didn't see. I was blinded by slushy in the eyes.
Seltzer. That'll get that out.
Seltzer? You carry seltzer in your purse? What are you, a traveling bartender?
This sort of thing happens to me a lot.
This kind of thing?
Well, not this exactly, but I do spill things a lot.
Wow, you're not at all like the woman in my...
You're what?
Is it possible that we met before? Like professionally? Do you need a lawyer?
I am a lawyer.
Well, maybe you're a lawyer who needs a lawyer. Maybe we've appeared against each other. Or we're going to.
I work for Lawyers Without Limits. So unless you're a third world despot or you represent them, I don't think so.
I'm Eli. Eli Stone. Ring any bells? Please, I'm not the kind of guy that you obviously think I am right now.
I'm Grace. Please don't comment on the irony.
Look, I know this sounds crazy, but I think that I was meant to meet you.
You know what? I bet you're a really nice guy, but you might have my chapstick and pen.
Oh yeah, fine. Just take my name and number. Please.
It's really interesting meeting you.
You too, Grace.
Wow, sounds like you got away with women, dude.
She wasn't exactly like the woman in my vision. She wasn't anything like her, in fact. She was sweet. She was funny. Her name is Grace.
You know how the Bible defines grace? It's a spirit of God that exists in humans for the sole purpose of strengthening them.
Where's the case in that?
Why are you looking for a case when you just took on a new one? Maybe she's here for you. Maybe for once, your vision is meant to bring you some joy.
You think this is my consolation prize for jumping back on the aneurysm roller coaster last week?
Maybe it's more like a reminder that you're not alone.
Morning, sir. Glad to see you're keeping out of stairwells.
At some point, I might have to get back on that particular horse. Speaking of last week, have you given our discussion any further thought?
I did, and I had a brainstorm. For every hour of pro bono work, our associates get 30 minutes credit to their billables quota.
As brainstorms go, Eli, that's a little more like a drizzle. I had something more along these lines in mind.
Good to see you back, sir.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
Sir, when we talked about changing the firm, taking it in a more socially responsible direction, I assumed that the firm would still have, clients.
And it will. It will just have better ones.
And have you shared this with Mr. Posner or Miss Klein?
Eli, I've known Martin and Marcy since before you were potty trained. I know exactly what their reaction to this manifesto will be.
You've got to be kidding me. The pro bono department you established at the end of last year, you want to turn the entire firm into it?
Not at all. Unlike pro bono cases, we would charge for these services, but we'd be providing them to a more noble clientele.
Noble clientele.
We implement a Hippocratic oath for our clients, committing to represent only those who do no harm.
Except apparently to our bank accounts.
The three of us, right here, we're not who we were 30 years ago, and we're not who we set out to be. Do you remember this? Our mission statement, our plans for the firm we wanted to build, our dream for the future.
Jordan, seriously.
Can any of us say our current client roster lives up to those ideals? I'm going to make a presentation of my proposal to a full meeting of all our partners. I expected some resistance, but it would be ill-advised for either of you to stand in my way.
I begged Danny not to go. I even tried to bribe him with a new car, but he enlisted anyway. And the truth is, he seemed to come into his own over there. I just think if he had to die, at least I want to give his death some meaning.
He didn't want a military burial, Emily. He told me.
I don't remember him ever calling home and asking to speak to you.
In any case, Daniel designated Mrs. Hayes as his next of kin.
Which is no longer enforceable once the body has been released by the DOD.
Will you trust me on this? I know what he wanted.
He wanted to go to medical school. He was going to be a surgeon, remember?
I never told him to enlist.
Well, you didn't have to. It was crystal clear from the day he was born, the way you acted when he joined ROTC. It was the only time in his life you ever told him you were proud of him.
Look, we should be able to work this out. Bringing this into court doesn't do anyone any good.
Is that what you told them to do? My son is lying in a box on a tarmac somewhere. You couldn't let me make a decision about him even once.
We'll be in touch.
You okay, sir?
It's the most she's said to me in 3 days.
Eli, you have a phone call. She says she met you at Marvel Stadium. Eli?
Hello?
Mr. Stone, this is Grace from the game.
I'm so glad you called. I didn't think you would.
Listen, ever since yesterday, I couldn't stop thinking. I just had to know, did you send me the ticket? I know it sounds crazy, but...
What do you mean, send you the ticket?
To the game. I got a ticket in the mail. It had a note. You are not alone. And I know that if I hadn't spilled the soda or dropped the hot dog, which inevitably led to me spilling the soda, there wouldn't have been a reason for you to save me, so there's still
Grace.
a big element of chance to the whole thing, but...
Grace, slow down.
I was just wondering if it was a really elaborate way of hitting on me.
I didn't buy you the ticket.
You didn't?
But I'd like to buy you lunch.
I'm going to Kenya in 2 days.
For lunch?
No, for work. Listen, it was really great meeting you last night. Have a great life.
I don't live in a dream.
Call the minister back and tell him we're filing a jus cogens brief in motion under Article 24.
Grace, there's someone here for you.
I can't take walk-ins.
I don't think he's a walk-in. Did you order lunch?
You hung up on me. Fortunately, there's only one Lawyers Without Limits office in this city.
Lucky me.
So, well, see, I figured you never actually got to eat your hot dog. And for some people, it's the best part of the game, so...
You brought me a dozen,
like roses, exactly, only smellier. Well, I don't have much to work with, and I got even less time. You leave the country in, what, 48 hours? And I already made this huge hot dog investment.
I have a brief to file in federal court. Why don't we share a hot dog on the way? Fair?
That's fair.
Just...
They got drinks, too. It's water, so that, you know, if you spill it, I mean, when you
Wait,
spill
well,
it.
you're ahead.
I admit, I'm worried, Dad. This big blow-up between you, Marcy, and Martin, it's all anyone around here can talk about.
Partners argue, Taylor. Doesn't mean the firm is going to fall apart.
I seem to recall the same fall-apart speech when I was 9.
I'm not married to Marcy or Martin. Neither's my type.
Posner and Klein aren't going to sit quietly by while you plot to take tens of millions of dollars out of their pockets.
I wasn't aware I was doing any such thing. Where might I be absconding with my ill-gotten gains? Someplace tropical, I hope.
Dad, this is a big deal.
Anything new brings with it fear and fallout. It's like that roller coaster I used to take you to in Santa Cruz. You get to the top of that first rise, all you can do is buckle in and ride it out.
I always hated that roller coaster.
You never told me that.
Because I loved being with you.
Are you with me now?
Always, Dad.
Actually, up until 2 years ago, I was a bankruptcy lawyer, helping huge conglomerates avoid paying taxes.
And you traded that all in for the morally bankrupt work of helping third world citizens.
It's not that easy. Flying into people's lives only to fly out again. Never really putting down roots. You know the last time I bought a non-miniaturized tube of toothpaste?
That must be pretty tough on your love life.
Objection, counselor. Relevance?
It goes to opposing counsel's availability.
Well, it's hard. You know, truth be told, I haven't had a real date in 2 years. Unless you count a long walk I took with a rhesus monkey in Cambodia.
A lot can happen on a long walk. So why did you make the whole job switch?
Oh, a lot of reasons. And you? How did you get retained by God? I mean, I figure he's a pretty tough client to bag. I Westlog you.
Can't believe everything you read online.
You didn't send me the ticket?
Nope. But if you don't mind me asking, what made you use it?
I don't know. I spend all my time at work and on the road, and I'm always in the airport watching people have their magical airport moments. And I know it sounds stupid, but I just thought, maybe I deserve a little magic in my life, too. I need to file this brief.
Grace, wait.
By the end of the week, I'm going to be practicing law in Swahili.
Have dinner with me.
I know this incredible jazz place.
I love jazz. How did you know that?
If you say yes, maybe I'll tell you.
Okay.
His unit was heading back to their base camp for lunch, and he just keeled over. Congestive heart failure. From his condition, it was a random, senseless death that could have happened here as easily as over there.
Nevertheless, he died a soldier. Why should he be buried like one?
Because it's not what he wanted. He felt like this was a war of choice, not necessity.
He told you that?
When I last spoke with him, yes.
On those occasions when he told you he had grown disillusioned, was it with the war or with the military, whose uniform he didn't wish to be buried in?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Like Mr. Hayes, I'm straining to see the relevance.
Simple. You can be against the war, but not against the military. You can want to get out of Iraq, but not out of uniform. Specifically, Danny could.
He would have despised the hypocrisy.
You're a former military man yourself, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, I am.
And you have requested a military burial.
We're talking about what Daniel wanted.
Objection, non-responsive.
Mr. Hayes, have you requested a military funeral?
Yes.
And you think Daniel would have despised the hypocrisy? Nothing further.
Either the other partners are all late for the partnership meeting, or it would appear I've been outmaneuvered.
We are seeking a court order, freezing your authority pending a complete psychological workup.
You can't be serious.
The motion was filed 15 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, Jordan.
Eli, we really have to get to court.
In a minute. What about this place? Bradbury's, dinner and jazz.
You need a reservation at least a week in advance.
Maybe you could call and beg.
And if I do, I'm doing it why?
I told Grace I knew an incredible jazz place.
You lied to her.
Well, when you find it, it'll stop being a lie.
Eli, we really...
The judge will wait. They can't start without us. That's how it works. Well?
Try 52nd Street. It's a jazz night featuring the Ellingtons, a Duke Ellington tribute band. Should be something special.
If I told you how much I loved you.
Come on.
Get her to court before her head explodes.
When did Daniel send you this video, Mrs. Hayes?
October 12th, a week before he was to come home.
Hey, Mom. Live from El Carmel. It's another Groundhog Day in Iraq, and I am still standing. I got your letters, and I know you're worried. Don't believe everything you see in the news. There's been some pretty great things here, like refurbishing this old swimming pool at a community center. We opened it yesterday, and you've never seen so many smiling kids. Tell Dad Sergeant Ellington's putting me in for a soldier's medal, so might be coming home with a souvenir. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
He certainly sounds like a man embarrassed to be in uniform.
This video is a snapshot of a moment in time. It's only relevant to tell us Daniel Hayes' state of mind on October the 12th.
It proves he embraced his mission.
It proves he built a swimming pool. It doesn't speak to how to dispose of his remains.
It was all spin. Daniel was putting on a brave face to protect Emily.
I don't think it played that way.
And it played as someone who's proud to be in uniform. You really think that after seeing that, the judge won't order him to be buried in it?
It isn't what he wanted. I don't know how else I can say it.
Well, how about by telling us what you're not telling us? Who's Sergeant Ellington?
Why would you? He was Daniel's CO, commanding officer.
And who was Ellington to you?
I served with his father, but that's it.
And what did he have to do with Daniel?
Nothing. Where are you even getting all of this?
There's something going on with Sergeant Ellington. He's important to this case somehow, to Danny.
Don't call him that.
You want to walk out? That's fine. But you hired me to help you help your son. I can't do that if you're not being honest with me.
You've done enough.
Stone, your aneurysm. Was it contagious? Excuse me? Jordan, your ex-future father-in-law, recently returned from his near-death experience, he wants to take the firm pro bono, which is Latin for buy cheaper suits. I know. Yeah? Did you know that Klein and Posner slapped him with a lawsuit today to prevent the whole thing from happening?
Good job. Obviously, we're fighting this.
We are not fighting anything, sweetheart. This is between me and Marcy and Martin.
You can't go pro se here, Dad. Look, I'll represent you.
No, I will.
Oh, so the attorney who should defend my father from getting declared insane should be the least sane attorney we know?
I'm not crazy, Taylor.
You told the judge in open court you had a direct line to God.
Oh, in case you didn't notice, it kind of worked out. Your dad's standing here alive, isn't he?
Yes, I am. Standing right here. Eli, I know you feel responsible for the changes I'm making, what I'm putting this firm through.
How can I not feel responsible?
Because you are not. I made my own choices, and this one was a long time coming. I appreciate both of you wanting to help me. I do. But I can handle this myself.
He doesn't have
He
this
can't
handled.
handle this.
Taylor, he's doing this because of me.
You're right. And I will always be indebted to you for saving his life, but Eli, I can't let you risk his firm. I am sorry.
Theoretically, I'm behind Jordan changing the firm. But cutting 60% of the clients is just... God, I'm so boring.
No, you're not boring. Eli.
I think the worst date ever, and you're the most patient woman on the planet.
No, I'm interested, really.
No way, I'm not talking about my work problems on your last night. No, I'm just gonna hit reset, and from now on, you're gonna have the most memorable time of your life.
Ooh, Kobe book.
Just
Oh, sorry.
not 3-alarm fire memorable, though. Here.
This is why I haven't been out for so long. I'm not fit for society.
Just hit me with a hot note.
Hit me with a who note?
This song, it's Duke Ellington. Does this song mean anything to you?
No.
Grace, will you dance with me?
No.
I'm telling you, I think we need to dance to this song.
Eli? I cannot dance.
Of course you can dance. This is a slow song. All we have to do is just, sway.
And what about your toes?
They've been stood on before. Please, dance with me.
So I seem to recall a pretty clear agreement, dinner in exchange for an explanation.
About the jazz thing?
And the mystery ticket. I mean, either you are a stalker who clearly does his homework, or there's something else going on. I know about the aneurysm.
Sorry, I didn't tell you. I guess I didn't know how.
Well, clearly you survived.
Recently, it came back.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Obviously, it has its downsides, but there's this weird other component. Grace, I didn't send you the ticket, but I did see you before we met. I get these visions because of the,
You had a vision of me?
Yeah. You were singing. In here. Yeah, you were the sexiest, most confident woman I've ever seen.
It's funny. Because dancing with you here right now, I feel a bit like that. It's been a long time.
Why did you suddenly change your life 2 years ago?
This is a perfect moment. I don't want to ruin it with sad stories.
Is it too sad to say I wish you weren't leaving?
We can't. I'm leaving tomorrow. I don't want to complicate it.
That's okay. Just keep dancing with me.
How'd you know?
Did we have a meeting scheduled?
How'd you know about Ellington?
I got a tip from a very senior partner. But you're gonna have to fill me in.
When Danny was going through the enlistment process, he needed help with the medical exam. I reached out to Bruce.
What kind of help?
He failed his first physical.
They caught his heart condition.
It was a mild form of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It was so mild the doctor almost missed it, but it still would have disqualified Danny from serving.
So your good friend, Sergeant Ellington, found a sympathetic doctor who looked the other way.
Well, I checked. It's like being denied for flat feet or bad eyesight. It's not necessarily life-threatening.
It was a heart condition.
Well, I gave him the choice.
To enlist or forever disappoint his dad? That's hardly a choice.
The only thing that's keeping me going is making sure Danny's last wish is granted.
Well, I'm not sure how we can do that. Not without proof.
He sent this to me a couple of days before he died.
What did he say?
Dad, things have never been worse. Last night, Cox and I were going house to house, dragging parents away from their kids at gunpoint. In this one house, there was an Iraqi father and his son, who couldn't have been much more than 10. And the dad just wanted to get his kid out of there, somewhere safe. And he wasn't going to let go of him until that happened. And for a moment, I wanted to be that kid with that dad. That dad never would have pulled strings to put his son in harm's way. You said I'd learn about myself if I went to war. Well, I learned I'm not you, I'm not a soldier. And every time I put this uniform on, I feel a little sicker. And I wanted you to know that.
If you're reading this email, it means I actually had the guts to send it. Don't let Mom see it. She's worried enough already. Daniel. The law requires me to use the best evidence available to determine the decedent's intent. I think, regrettably, this email is it. Plaintiff's motion granted. Custody of Daniel's remains will fall to Mr. Hayes.
You knew about his heart. You knew.
Emily, please. This is what I was afraid of.
Don't come home.
This is what he was
Email the
afraid
address.
of.
I'll send you your things. I don't want you near me. I should never have let you near my son.
Come on, Eli, talk to me.
What's there to talk about? We won. Yay.
I'm sure there's a bright side.
Like what?
Well, you're having visions again, right? And without an aneurysm, that was...
You didn't send the email.
I'm having computer issues.
Patty, I asked you to do something for me. Something quite simple. Why can't you do it?
What am I supposed to say? FYI, Eli Stone, the man we all stood a 3-night vigil for as he laid in a coma in the hospital, the man we all love, has discovered. No, I'm not doing it. I won't.
Attention, everyone! Attention! I just want to let you know that the aneurysm's back. Big, bad, funnier than ever. I will do my best not to drop dead in your office. Thank you. Is that so hard?
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
I really don't need your pity right now. Almost drowned in it last year. No offense.
Wow. You could be offended by that.
It's happening to me again. My life is about to be defined by a 3mm piece of tissue in my brain.
Here's some news. The pity you almost drowned in last year, that was self-pity, and it's back up to your shoulders and rising.
We're not doing this. You can go.
Who are you so angry at?
What, do I have to pick just one? How about a client who comes to me for help, and I wind up destroying his marriage?
A marriage that was falling apart under the weight of his guilt.
And Jordan! He's about to destroy something he spent his life building because of me.
Jordan makes his own decisions. He always has.
Including the one not to let me defend him.
Convince him. Try harder.
Grace!
What?
I'm angry at Grace. I finally meet someone I like, and she's leaving. What's wrong with me? Why don't I get more than 48 hours?
Your brother Nate?
Nate! I'm mad at Nate. If I hadn't gone to that stupid game in the first place, I wouldn't know what I was missing.
Eli, I mean, he's on the phone.
Nate.
That's what I said.
Tell him I'm coming over. You bought her the ticket, and you brought me to that game for a reason. I don't know how or why. You did it.
Remember how I told you that we were going to have to talk sooner or later about you winning the aneurysm lottery again?
Well, here we are. What does my aneurysm have to do with you sending a random stranger tickets to a baseball game?
Well, you wouldn't tell me how you got the aneurysm back, so I had to go looking for answers elsewhere.
Did you find them in a notebook?
It's Dad's journal. I found it in Mom's garage in a big box of his crap that she can't bring herself to get rid of.
Dad kept a diary?
Kind of. I mean, it reads like a crazy person's to-do list. There's names and dates and drawings, and I think he was writing down everything that he was seeing. And it all has to do with you. You now. 10 years after he died. I read some of it, and I found out what you did for me. How you asked for the aneurysm back.
Nate.
Dad said you were going to do it. The entry is dated October 14th. E saves champ. That was his nickname for me, you remember?
What else does it say?
A lot, all right? I didn't read all of it. Some of it makes some sense, and a lot of it does not.
Like sending Grace a ticket to the game.
And making sure that you were there. Look, it told me the date of the game. And who to send the ticket to, Grace Fuller, her address. I mean, all of it, it's all in here.
Why?
Why did you ask, whoever you asked, for the aneurysm back?
Because I didn't want it to ruin your life.
Maybe Dad didn't want it to ruin yours, Eli. Dad's words. You're not alone. I mean, he's trying to tell you that you can still be happy.
She's moving, Nate. She leaves tonight, as a matter of fact.
She can't leave.
She can, apparently. She's moving to Africa. Yeah, so, tell me. Why'd I meet her?
I don't know. Look, none of this makes any sense. I mean, after everything that she's been through.
Everything meaning what, me?
No, everything meaning... You don't know.
What? Here. Oh my God. Grace.
Eli, what are you doing here?
I know about your heart condition. Grace, come on. I had to buy a one-way ticket to Alberta to get past security.
It's called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy.
I know. And it's rare, and it's hereditary, and it can go undetected, and it can cause sudden death. Looks like we just keep finding things in common.
Yeah. The guy with the defective brain and the girl with the defective heart. When are we off to see the wizard?
You keep asking me who sent you that ticket, but you never ask why. Grace, I think I'm supposed to get you to stay.
You think a higher power wants to stop me from helping people in Kenya? Eli, I know that I don't have the experience that you have with this, but I just don't think it's supposed to work that way.
Then maybe I'm supposed to come with you.
We both know that as soon as we got off that airplane, the only thing that would be on your mind is your boss. That's who you are, Eli.
Grace.
It's who I've fallen for. We both know that only one of us is getting on that airplane.
We weren't brought together for nothing.
No. Well, it wasn't for nothing. I think it was proof that there was someone else out there like us. Someone else for us. It was a reminder.
That can't be all it was.
It's not all it was. He gave it to me. My magical airport moment.
Those usually end with it. With a kiss?
Kiss me goodbye.
For now. Tell me it's just for now.
Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. Not even you, Eli.
When you need someone that you care